Okay.
I'm
Hello.
so sorry.
No, you're fine. Hello, everyone. This is Allison, and welcome to my weekly meltdowns coverage of Survivor 40. No, you're not in the future. It is not 9 months from now. It is still the year 2019, right? 2019. Anyway, we're a little excited. We can't wait to just kind of draft the All-Star. Well, they're not calling it All-Stars, though, are they?
No,
All
this is. I think we're still waiting for the official title of the season, but
Right.
this is all for anybody that doesn't know. Pretty much everybody knows at this point. So Survivor 40 is a big milestone in the show, and they're celebrating it by bringing 20 of the past winners of Survivor back.
Right.
Clash of Champions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, is that the official title?
I don't know, but it sounds like it will be, right?
I'm into that title.
I'd put money on it.
I had heard that they were calling it the Masterminds.
That sounds good too.
I don't know if I would classify all of these winners as masterminds, though.
Not really.
Well, we've got Alex Kidwell with us and the Queen of Sequester, Kim, whose last name I can never pronounce.
Martina.
Martina. But
Martina,
because I say Matina. It just sounds different with my southern accent. It doesn't sound right.
It sounds different in the South.
It does. I'm sorry. But we're going to do our draft, and each one of us is going to pick 5 people. And I'm going to go first because I don't want anyone to pick my person. Because I feel
like we need to say that we're doing this snake style. So we go first, second, third, fourth, and then the fourth person picks again, and it goes back and forth like that.
Yeah, and Tyler gets to keep up with that because Allison does.
Don't worry, I will. Everything already. So Allison, since it is your show, I figured you would have the honors of picking the order of this draft. So go ahead and let us know the order here.
Okay, I'm going to go first.
Okay.
And I'm going to let Alex go second.
Okay.
And I'm going to let Kim go third.
Oh, man. Okay.
And I'm going to let you go fourth.
Okay.
But that means you get the double pick at the end.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. So I'm okay with this.
Oh, wait, so that's a good thing?
Well, I guess we'll see how it plays out, right?
Okay.
You kind of set them up.
All right, so Allison, you have the very first pick out of all of the. Should we list the winners first before we get started?
Yeah, let's go down a list. I'll actually share my screen if that's okay. I'm gonna pull up the people really quick, and I'm so professional that I don't have it up. You know,
have that link from Inside Survivor up.
Yeah, Dad. I know what I'm doing. Jesus, all day with you, all day.
You missed me so much.
Bossing me around like crazy. You send the link.
Hey, Tyler, your haircut's looking good, by the way, Tyler.
Well, yeah, thank you. This show is sponsored by Bryce's Barbershop in Pasadena. For anybody that did not see my fiasco, I basically, this is just while Allison finds the link. I had a fiasco where I got a haircut the day before a wedding that I was the best man in. And it was a bad haircut, so I left a review online, and they just said some pretty homophobic, offensive things. They also brought a therapy dog into it and everything like that, which I don't even have a therapy dog. So that was kind of insensitive too. But the worst part is they said that I came in with a fanny pack and slammed it down the desk. I've never worn a fanny pack before. So if you need me, I'll be fanny pack shopping. That's where I'll be.
I was about to say
You'll be at fanny packs or us.
It sounds like someone who's never met a gay person's version of gay fan fiction from like 1994.
Right, exactly. So bad.
He took his fanny pack out and slammed it on the counter.
I know, right? Like so dramatic.
I'll bet you were wearing gold sneakers too, weren't you?
I was
gold
in,
LA
I was in gym clothes actually.
Yeah.
Like I was just
The
going
ruby
there
slippers.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Allison, do you have that page yet?
Did you make them cut around your tiara too?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just checking. Yeah. All right, let's see. Let me share my screen if I can I mean, really. Ugh, people. Okay, so now I just want to go on record as saying that this is kind of the official, unofficial list of people. It is not, from what I understand, the research I did today, it is not 100%. It's more like 98.89. So, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, like Inside Survivor is always correct with their leaks and stuff like that. So this is a very credible source. Of course, like something could happen, but if something did happen to one of these cast members, I'm pretty sure we would have heard about it by now.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we do know for a fact they've already left for Fiji.
Yeah.
And because, certain people came to LA to fly away and they were seen and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's, and this guy in past seasons has only gone to print with names. Once he's had them, he's been very credible. Yeah. The track record is good.
And one person I don't see on this list is Chris, the most recent winner.
Yeah. And I think that we're all okay with that. What'd you say, Kim?
Whoops, the mastermind.
Yeah, right.
As far as this list goes, this is who we have so far, the 98.89% list of possible castaways on Survivor 40. Masterminds, all winners, all whatever. We have Amber Mariano, Danny Boatwright, Denise Stapley, Kim Spradlin, Michelle Fitzgerald, Natalie Anderson, Parvati Shallow, Sandra Diaz-Twine, Sarah Lucina, Sophie Clark, Adam Klein. This guy, I'm not allowed to say his name on the show. It might trigger somebody. Ethan Zahn, Jeremy Collins, Nick Wilson, Rob Mariano. God, I hope I'm saying that right. Tony Vlachos,
Yeah,
Tyson Apostle, Wendell Holland, and Yul Kwan. So this is the list. This is a pretty good list. I have to say, I'm pretty impressed. I like it.
Yeah, I think just real quick before we get started, I think the only real outliers from this list are Richard Hatch and Tina from seasons 1 and 2. I think they could have been put in here as well. But otherwise, like it's a very good cast. I'm very, very excited about this season, and just what a milestone for the show, right?
That's why we're doing this freaking 9 months early because we're so freaking excited. You know what I'm saying? Like we were freaking out on the finale of the most recent season because we were like, oh my God, we got to do a show about this. And we're not even done. Okay. So I'll go first. Let's see here. I don't know. Do we need to? I'm going to try to see if I can click on the people. Oh, I can. Okay. So I am torn between my first pick because there's two people that I want to pick. And I know one of y'all, you're going to pick the one I don't. I know it. I know you. Ugh. So this has just been tearing me up all day. So
Sophie's choice already.
My first pick is
Allison leftovers.
Do what?
We get Allison leftovers.
That's right. Okay, it's not going to let me click. My first pick is Tyson Apostle.
Oh, okay.
He's my number one. Yes.
Why?
I just love him. I can't really put into words just the way he speaks and his sense of humor and the way he just talks to people. I mean, it's just, to me, it just works. It just works. He just said, I don't know. See, now I'm on the spot and I can't explain anything.
So Tyson is a player that has played 3 times. Of course, he won his last time in Blood versus Water, where we really saw him have like a really tight alliance with Jervis and Monica, of course. He really played a very, very dominating game between like that alliance. Of course, we saw him go to Rocks that season, which was really crazy too. So he definitely has the balls to make these big moves that are probably a little needed for a season as big as this. Right. My only worry about him is that like he tends to like come off really cocky, or that he like I don't know. Like he can like let his arrogance get in the way sometimes. Of course, we flash back to the heroes versus villains when he literally got himself voted out because he wanted to deviate from the plan. So who knows? I think that I could really see it going either way for Tyson. I'm not too high on him actually.
He's a poker player, right?
Yeah.
And I kind of
He
feel.
also
I'm
he
sorry,
lives like 30 minutes from me. Can I give him a call real quick and get some insight?
yeah, please. I'll
I don't
freak
think he'll pick
out
up the phone right now.
if it goes to voicemail. He's really there.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so that is mine. And man, my number two, I can't tell you who my number two pick is.
Well, I don't know who your number 2 pick is now that you picked Tyson first.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you,
Seriously.
my list is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that's going to be interesting about Tyson, right, is that since he won, he played and made the jury, made it far and lost, and then he played and went out early and lost, and then the last time he played, he won the game, and then since then, I've heard him on podcasts and stuff talking about like the value of losing before he won because he was so aware of when the tide had turned on him, like he was picking up on little subtle perceptions in the camp that he said he wouldn't have had if he hadn't had the experience of losing before, so like it'll to me the most interesting thing about Tyson, and I think he's set up well because he was on the Villains Tribe, he was in an alliance already with Boston Rob and Sandra, so if he gets back with any of those people, I think they're already kind of set up to work together because we've seen them do it before. But it'll be really interesting to me just to see if he can, if that proves true, like if he immediately if his senses are heightened when his name is going around because of what he's talked about, because it's happened to him twice and he really internalized that fact.
I'm pretty sure he's played poker in some leagues with Jeremy and Kim as well. So there's that connection. And
He's
I
got
think,
friends
of course,
out there, yeah.
Yeah, and of course there's the RHAP connection with Sophie too. And I guess like Adam would kind of be in there too. So he definitely has some connections going into this, which plays in his favor.
So that's my pick. I just feel like he has played quite a few times and he has won one time. I just feel like this is a good. I think that he's wiser. Yeah, he's got a sharp tongue. He's a smart ass. But look, that's right up my alley. Okay, whatever. I could get along with him in a heartbeat. All right. So number 2 is Alex. Alex, I'm going to Google your number 2. Who is your number 2?
All right. I think it's a tough call. I mean, this season could go many different directions, but I think I'm going to go with Denise Stapley.
That was my number 1 pick.
Yeah, I love Denise. I've always loved Denise. Denise is still the only player in Survivor history to win, having gone to every single tribal council on her season. I mean, so it's clear, like, what'll happen if she ends up on a tribe that actually wins challenges and she gets the coast? She's never even gotten that benefit and she still won the game. The thing I think is amazing about Denise, her background is in like, emotional psychotherapy, and she's a sex therapist, and like it reminds me of like Derek in Big Brother 16. She has all this training and all this knowledge that she brings to the table from her life experiences that lend themselves so perfectly to the game. The only thing that, that separates her from Derek is she comes in about the least intimidating package possible. I mean, Denise is 48. She's small. She's going to be overlooked. I mean, you look at all these huge, huge targets out there. I mean, there's monster names that people are going to want to take down as like a pelt on their resume. And Denise is, I think, as good as anyone at sliding under the radar. And that's what you're going to need to do to make it far this season.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you're saying, Alex. I think that she was my number 1 pick as well. I think that she has the most tribal council experience out of any one winner on their season, and that really is a very valuable thing. And I think that her career, like you said, Alex, lends very well to a good Survivor player. Of course, like we've seen her like with her challenge wins on this show as well. You're right. She's not this like alpha male either, which plays really well to her. And, what I really like about Denise is she kept her cool the entire time. And the only time she didn't was when Abby Maria was like really getting under her skin. I look at this cast here, I don't see an Abby Maria type of character on the season. So that if that's like people's one concern about her, it's not going to apply to this season. Kim, what do you think about Denise?
actually really surprised by that pick. I can see what you're saying, that she could totally fly under the radar because she's not that alpha male. She's not the alpha female either. The Sandra and the Parvati that are all going to automatically have targets right on them. But then again, you know, it's going to be, I think it's going to be like a Denise and Sophie and Sarah and stuff that may have opportunities that we're not seeing with some of the other players. They're going to have a shot at it.
Yeah, definitely.
But neither one of you took my picks, so I'm good.
Yeah, she's not on my list. Or should I say that? I don't know. Who cares?
You can say it now that
Say it
it's
now.
not given
Yeah.
away. Yeah, you can say it now. Yeah, I'm very, very excited to see Denise play again. And I really think that she has a really solid shot of taking this home. Very good first pick, Alex. So now, Kim, we go to you. Who is your first pick?
Okay, mine is 100% emotional pick because this is totally kind of like Bruno from BB Can is my fantasy pick, so to speak. This is my fantasy survivor pick is Ethan. I love Ethan.
Okay.
He's my man crush. And so I have to take him because I'm going to be really pissed off if one of you guys do, even though I don't know that he'll win. I think he's going to, you know,
I love Ethan.
He's going to have, I think he's going to have a target, but I think he's going to have the smallest alpha male target out there. You know, he's not Rob. He's not, you know, Tyson. He's not a Jeremy where he's got that. I think Ethan's going to kind of mesh more with maybe like an Adam Klein. I think I could kind of see those two molding together. And if he does that and lets the meat shields take the lead, I think Ethan can go really deep because by the time those meat shields are out, he's going to be a dominant force. And it's hot to watch, so as we said.
Yeah, that always helps as well. Yeah, I think back to his time on Survivor All-Stars where, of course, if we remember all the previous winners were like really targeted early on. And Ethan made it the longest out of all of the previous winners. And rightfully so.
Yeah.
He really, I think he was like just shy of getting in jury or something like that. He was like a merge boot type of situation, or very close to. I think that he is. I think you're spot on, Kim, about him being that like physical threat, but somebody who's a little bit more quiet. Like when I think of like a physical male threat, I think of somebody like Tyson. I don't think of somebody like him. And he's just really smooth and charming, like a lot more charming than these guys usually are on this show. I think that's a very good pick. I had him at number 9 on my list.
I had him as number 4 on mine. Damn it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Whoops. Scooped her. You should have taken him with your number 1 pick because I sure as hell was never taking Tyson.
Yeah, no.
I'm telling you, my list is always epic. Remember my list last year?
For our Big Brother fantasy draft?
Horrible.
Your draft was like all like Big Brother over the top people.
My list was horrible, and it really wasn't on purpose. It was just I knew you wouldn't pick these people.
Oh my god. Yeah, like the 3 of us like took it seriously, like who we want to see back, and then we had like Monte from BBOTT as one of the 8 guys spots or something. I was like, this is ridiculous. Oh yeah. Did anybody else have anything else to say about Ethan before we move on?
I met him once. Really, really nice guy. Just incredibly charming and very easy to see how he was the person with the target coming into All Stars that lasted the longest. I mean, it's easy to see how he made that happen. I think he's got a great social game.
All right. Mars just joined us in the chat. They asked how much did we miss. So Mars, Allison picked Tyson, Alex picked Denise, and Kim picked Ethan. So now that it is my turn, I will pick who I had as my number 2 pick in this whole draft. And I think this is going to be a surprise for some people. So I am going to go with Adam for my number 1 pick. I think that Adam is somebody who a lot of people view one on sympathy more than actual gameplay, but I think that he really had some good gameplay chops in Millennials versus Gen X. So I really think that he's going to go very under the radar. Of course, he's at like a lot of these Survivor events, and we see he has like connections with a lot of the past winners that I think are really going to favor for him. But you know how Kim said that Ethan's going to be this male who doesn't have this big target on his back? I think that even more so applies to Adam than it does Ethan. I am really excited to see him play again as well. I was not one of those people that think that he just won on sympathy. I think that he really earned his win. Yeah, I don't have like anything bad to say about Adam, really. I'm very excited to see him play again.
Yeah,
You know
Adam
what,
is someone who, oh, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead, Alex.
Okay. Adam's someone who gets it, like he understands the game, and he doesn't necessarily always execute the best way. We saw a lot of instances where like he miscommunicated with Taylor or Jay. And so as a result, like got enmity of people that when he was trying to kind of like play the middle, which sometimes like, yeah, it takes you have to be very deft to play the middle in a way that doesn't have it blow up on you. And I think Adam played the middle a few times and had it blow up on him. But he was good enough and understood the game well enough to work his way back into the group for a few votes, and then eventually kind of get himself where he needed to be to take control of the game. So, I mean, he absolutely understands the game, and he's someone I've actually, I've probably talked to him more than anyone that's on this cast because he's been at so many of these events and stuff like that. And, he's just, I mean, he really is like a genuine, just good-hearted person. And I think that comes across when you talk to him. And so like, he's young, and that might work against him because this cast on average, obviously because of the nature of the season, is older than most.
Yeah.
And I could see them saying like, well, we don't want to let like a 20-some-year-old kid win again, or just, people gravitating towards each other simply because they have more life experience that's in common than Adam would. But, I don't think he's someone that, people are going to have a hard time working with if they want to work with him.
Yeah.
See, and I think I would love to see Ethan and Adam team up, because I think that Ethan can kind of bring that finesse into the game that Adam was lacking before. I think the two of them could be deadly if they team up together. But you're bringing up age. There's 3 28-year-olds in this. Adam's one of those 3, but 28 is the youngest. Adam, Michelle, and who is it? Adam, Michelle, and
is it Sophie?
Natalie? Oh no, she's 33.
No, I think it's Sophie.
Wendell?
He's 29.
Oh, Nick Wilson's 28.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Nick. Okay. So this is definitely an older cast.
Yeah.
So, but I really think that Ethan and Adam could be an absolutely deadly combination if they get together.
I'm just all about the older players right now, because I can relate, like, if they pee themselves or something, it leaks out when you get older. So I can relate, like, I want to like relate, like we'll be on the same page. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Come on now. And sometimes you sneeze and fart at the same time. I mean, it happens. You can't control everything. And I'm excited about it. So.
Oh my God. You're making me laugh now.
Thank you for that insight, Allison.
You're welcome. That's why I'm here.
It's like Survivor 40. Survivor 40, sponsored by Depends.
Right.
That's right. Boise pads.
So moving quite along here. So I have the next pick. I don't know how to transition out of that. So I have the next pick as well. So I think that this is probably going to be high on Alex's list, maybe Kim as well. But next, I'm going to go with Danny Boatwright.
Yeah.
Guatemala is one of my favorite Survivor seasons, and I'm glad to see that they're finally bringing somebody back from that season. This is the first time that Guatemala has had any representation. So Danny, of course, she's really known for not giving a lot of her strategy away in confessionals because she was worried about production kind of planting seeds in other players' heads about like what she was doing. So because of that, the other winners that are going into this really have a big question mark about how Danny's going to play, what her inner thoughts are like. And I think that that's a really powerful advantage to kind of not know like the strategy. And of course, I think that she can really hold her in competitions as well. I don't think that she's not as like a big of a target as somebody like, let's compare her to like Parvati in terms of like character type on Survivor. Of course, Parvati is always going to have that bigger target on her than somebody like Danny will. Very high on her chances as well. She was my number 3 pick overall.
Yeah. I mean,
Dan.
I think Danny's a good pick. I think it's easy to see how she could potentially fly under the radar in this group of really well-known players because, people might not remember her or what she can do, but she is definitely a very capable player. And she is the one member of this cast that I know for sure has been asked to play previous seasons. And her response was, I'm waiting for an all-winner season. Like Danny has been waiting for this. She's been sitting on this season. So I think it's, maybe that means she puts too much pressure on herself, but I think more likely it means that she's been preparing for this and she's probably scouted these people pretty well. Especially because I think she's married to a former Kansas City Chief. So the sports, the strategy, the competition, like she lives for that stuff. I mean,
It's going to be good. Oh, and Devin Bates in the chat says, hey, Kim from Sequester.
Hi. God, it freaks me out. Oh my God. You guys, I was at the mall last week. Someone recognized me and asked me for my autograph.
Oh my God. That is when you know that you've made it.
I was at Scottsdale Fashion Square Mall and someone goes, oh my God, did you play Sequester by any chance? And I was like, yes. Are you Kim Medina? Yes. And they're like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And they took a selfie and asked me for my autograph. I was like, holy shit, are you kidding me?
Cool.
I would freak out. That is awesome.
That was the first time, but it kind of freaked me out a little bit. It's like, oh, you're invading my personal space, but whatever.
Oh,
but I love you anyway.
My head would explode. I would.
Oh my God. I would never hear the end of somebody asking Allison for her autograph.
Oh my God.
Damn right. Have you ever seen the movie Soap Dish with Sally Field? And she's a soap star. And she's like, I need some attention today. So she makes her assistant, Whoopi Goldberg, take her to the mall, and they get on the escalator, and Whoopi Goldberg gets behind her on the escalator and acts like she doesn't know. And she goes, oh, you're so-and-so. You're so-and-so from that soap opera. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And boosted her up. I would freaking do that all the damn time. Okay.
All day, every day.
Every day. Let's go.
But anyway, so that was my little claim to fame from this weekend. So I'm really excited about it.
I love hearing stuff like that.
Did you guys have anything to say about Danny Bowright before we move on?
I think I missed that season. So no, I don't.
I think she's going to be the dominant female, actually. I think she's going to be one of 3 dominant females on my list.
I could see that. I really, really could. Sorry, I'm just reading in the chat. Devin Bates said, do you think the first boot on season 40 will be someone physical or a strategist? We'll save that one for the end, who we think the first boot will be.
Yeah, we'll save that. Good question, though. Good question.
So moving on to hopefully is not the first boot of the season. Kim's second choice awaits us. So go ahead, Kim.
I am going to go with somebody that I think is going to be a real physical threat in the game. I think I'm going with Natalie. Natalie's my next choice. I think without her sister there at the beginning of the game to, totally destroy it. I think that she's going to build alliances. I think she is going to kind of be the person that people will gravitate to. And she's going to pick and choose who she's going to allow in her inner circle.
Oh, that's right. She did play with her. Oh my God. Yes. She did play with her sister. She didn't boot her sister off, did she?
No, her sister was the first boot that
tribes.
Okay. I was thinking
they came in as known entities when nobody else did.
Yeah.
So that worked against them from the Amazing Race.
Exactly, but she doesn't have that Amazing Race stigma to come into this game with. She doesn't have a twin sister to come into this game with. And I think that she's going to be forced to step out of her comfort zone and form alliances that she did not do the first time around, and people are not going to expect it.
She's very strong as well. Like if you follow her on Instagram, she's like a huge CrossFitter and everything too.
Yeah, no, I mean,
she's a huge physical threat.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like her most recent stuff right before she went out there was like scary. Like, legitimately scary how much weight she's like pushing these days in the weight room. Like,
but here's the thing: keep in mind, so many of the challenges are where they're balancing, they're on a beam and things, and those challenges are definitely something that a female has a better opportunity with when they're looking at balance, when they're looking at tiny feet. I'm sorry, but let's face it, her feet are smaller than Tyson's, for example. She's going to have opportunities, but she's got the physical strength to be able to hold on. I think she's going to be the female physical threat.
I think her and Denise both are tiny and will have tiny feet, and I think they will go head to head and something like that. I think, given the chance. Oh, for sure.
One thing that is interesting about Natalie, I mean, I assume her and Jeremy probably won't start on the same tribe, but they were a tight duo throughout the season. She ended up winning. I mean, she was devastated when he went home. She made a point to blindside the people that got rid of Jeremy. So that could either help her or hurt her. I mean, if Jeremy's able to secure his own alliance and then they make a swap together, I mean, all of a sudden they could run the game. But I could see the other scenario also where they're like, so afraid of Jeremy that if they have a shot to take a swing at him through her, that maybe some people might try to do that.
Yeah.
But where are they a tighter duo than Rob and Amber?
Yeah, right. That's the other thing.
That's true.
Rob and Sandra that are in the next season.
Rob, Sandra, and Tyson all work together on the Villains Tribe against Parvati. I mean, so there's clear targets out there. I mean, some of these people were involved in getting rid of Tony, right? So
yeah, that's true. Oh gosh, I can't wait for Sandra and Tony 2.0.
I can't wait.
Oh yeah.
I just got chills.
So of course, next we're going to move on. So Alex, it is your turn. Go ahead and make your next pick.
Okay. That's so hard. I am going to take Amber.
Interesting.
Ooh.
She was number 12 on my list.
Yeah, it's one of these things where I feel like so many of these people stick out as targets, as threats. And Amber's like, who's going to take Amber out before Boston Rob? Sure, there's a chance they take Amber out because they can't get at Boston Rob. But if that doesn't happen, I mean, it's easily an all-star scenario again, where she's just like, at the end with the person who made everyone mad. And it's like, oh, well, I guess Amber's going to win this game. Like, I think in a season like this with so many heavy hitters who are going to be swinging for the fences, that I like the people who aren't going to immediately expose themselves as threats. And I think, like of the people left on the board, maybe Michelle Fitzgerald fits in that category. Maybe there's a few others, but I just think Amber is a much better social player than she gets credit for. I think since the last time she's won, she's had like 4 daughters and, lived a lot of life, and she's probably been itching to play again. Her husband's gotten to come back like 7 times since then. So I'm sure she's excited to come back and actually prove to people like, yo, I'm not just like Rob's girlfriend who got lucky against him. Like, I can actually play this game, and I'm excited to see what she can do.
Yeah, I think that this is one of those situations where, kind of similar to like Will Kirby stomping his feet and saying, no, Mike Boogie has to be here for Big Brother 7. I think this is kind of similar. I think Boston Rob probably put his foot down and said, no, if I'm going to be out there, Amber needs to be out there too.
But she wasn't supposed to be on All-Stars.
Horrible Arnold Schwarzenegger.
She was the last-minute replacement on All-Stars as well.
Do you know who she was?
I mean, I just think it would be kind of fitting, right? Like, it's like the people who win the returnee seasons are the people who are like the last ones cast usually, because everyone else is so worried about the big names coming in.
Yeah. So we'll see how she goes. Kim, what do you think about Amber?
I think I think Amber's going to be an early out, not because of her social game or because I think she had an amazing social game, and I do agree it was underestimated. But I think that if they don't have a chance to take a swing at Rob, and they're on opposite tribes, that her tribe might take her out to keep her from getting into a swap with Rob.
They should. They definitely should. Yeah.
That's a really
Because Rob sure as hell not ever. If Rob votes her out, Rob ain't getting any for quite a while. So therefore, I think that they will, as a tribe, take her out to keep Rob from having to make that decision.
Yeah. You don't want them to merge together. You don't want them on the same tribe at all.
No.
No.
And especially if Sandra's still in there. Can you imagine Sandra, Amber, and Rob?
Oh my God, that would be scary. That would be unstoppable.
They will not let that happen. And I think the one way they can stop that from happening is Amber.
Yeah. Rob would definitely bring in Tyson in on that too. Because they have that heroes versus villains connection and the poker connection. And he would bring home like the physical wins, like the immunity challenges and stuff too. So you're right. That could be a really deadly mix there.
So I think she's going to be an early boot, possibly as early as first boot if her tribe does not have immunity.
I co-sign that. I really do. Yeah.
All right, Allison, is your number 2 pick still on the board? I'm just curious here.
Yes. My number 2 pick, this is who I struggled with between 1 and 2. My number 2 is Sandra Diaz Twine.
All right. The queen is off the board. She was number 16 for me.
And God, do you just do that to piss me off? I mean, really?
It's just proof that we think totally opposite.
God.
All right, so go ahead and give us your pitch. Why is Sandra Diaz Twine going to be the first 3-time winner in Survivor history?
Hold on, I gotta pull her up right now. Sandra
Diaz -Twine.
Twine. Look, there she. Well, crap, Diaz Twine. I know how to spell it. Hyphen my ass. Oh, hyphen my ass. All right, jeez. Okay. I don't know. I just really, really, really like Sandra. She's just like, I feel like she's like my kid. Like, I get her. I get where she, like, I've been friends with women like her, and she is just not, she just does it. She gets people to do, it just happens. It just happens. And she's not forceful about it. You know, I mean, she's really not. And it's really not her fault. I blame the people she's playing with for following her. She's like Rumpelstiltskin. I mean, think about it for a minute. These people follow her.
She kind of looks like Rumple in that picture that you have.
Right here. But, you know, so it just, to me, it's not the queen stays queen and all that, but can you imagine if she won for a 3rd time? Do you know whose fault that would be? That would be everyone that she freaking plays with. And that's what I live for. I live for these players that do the most without doing anything at all. And that doesn't make you a floater, and that doesn't make you a goat or anything like that. It's using your mind and playing the game from different angles. So to me, that's why I like her so much. I'm ready. I am so freaking ready to see her and Tyson. And so, oh my God, I just got chills. Like, I've said that 5 times.
You know, I think Sandra's, of course, like, token strategy, as long as it's not me, like, that's her, like, phrase. I actually think that applies to a lot of players in Sequester. And Kim, maybe you could weigh in on that. But there's a reason that it's so successful, right? It's saying, like, listen, use me as a vote, use me as a number. You know, Sandra is not somebody who depends on Ben idols coming up everywhere mysteriously, or just like winning out into the end. Like, she doesn't win, she still gets there, and then she talks her way out of a fucking paper bag. Like, she can sit next to Parvati and Russell and still win. It's incredible to me. So very excited to see her play. And, you know, Allison, you're kind of talking me into, like, her doing better than I think she would do.
You see what I just did there? I just Diaz twined you. Okay, that's what I
Yes,
did.
hyphen twined me.
That's right. I hyphened you. Okay,
Ay.
so
I think Sandra's fantastic. I think she's one of the greatest players to ever play this game, and I think she proves it every time she goes out there. And it's so understated that it took really 3 times for people to fully appreciate it. But I think now people fully appreciate it, and that's why I don't think she's going to do well. I think she's so great that now everyone recognizes it. And I think she's going to have a lot of work to do if she's going to make it far in this game. She worked her ass off that last season. I mean, the amount of work she had to do to almost make the merge is more than some winners have had to do to win their entire season.
Yeah.
I mean, she was working overtime just to scrape by each week. So, I mean, her first 2 seasons, she benefited because she was on a tribe that was winning challenges. If she's able to win challenges with the group and then go to the merge, like, she can do damage. But I just think her target is so big now. It's
I'm
going
just
to be
picturing
tough.
her under her like big giant head statue saying, "I'm not a threat."
I know, right? Like see, the way I'm thinking is, and I know we're not talking about this yet, but I do kind of feel like she may very well be in the first couple of weeks.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it because everybody knows everything I just said. So they may not believe anything that comes out of her mouth. I don't know.
Kim, let's hear the counter argument.
I think that she's still gonna play the as long as it isn't me game.
Yeah.
But the difference, I can see her coming in going, guess what? They've already seen me play. They already know how I play. I've got a target because I've already won it twice. Nobody's going to try and let me win it a third time. Therefore, I am going to switch it up.
Yes.
And I think she is going to play a game that we have never, ever seen before. And especially if they get rid of Amber, if they get rid of Tyson before there's a tribe swap, she's a chameleon. Mm-hmm. I can see her playing the chameleon. Not only is it as long as it's not me, but it's going to be, here, I'll fit in over here with you. No, wait, I'll fit in over here with you. And she is going to play that game. She is not a physical threat. She's not a challenge threat. Mm-hmm. She's definitely a social threat, but how many social threats do we have in here? These are all winners.
Yeah.
I think I actually had her like in my top 7.
Wow. Okay.
It's just my fear is everything that you just said, they're going to be thinking that she's going to be working it that way. And they're going to be like, she's going to come at us and she's going to say she's won twice, she's like someone you can like, I feel on the other side of it, the other players will be like what you're saying and what I've said and kind of go, we just need to go ahead and get her out now.
That is the crazy thing about these returnee seasons is that like sometimes strengths are weaknesses and sometimes weaknesses are strengths all of a sudden because people have seen what you do.
But this is not a returnee season. Every single one of these people have won. Mm-hmm. Every single one of them. Just watch this. She's going to have them looking at the right hand. And in the meantime, she's going to be voting their ass out with her left hand.
Yeah.
Having an amazing confessional about it.
She's going to be over there at the urn and she is going to clap back at him and say, got your ass by.
No, I can't wait. I just love her so much. I just can't wait. Y'all don't even know.
All right.
That picture.
I know.
Well, speaking of can't wait, I can't wait to see what Allison's third pick is going to be.
Oh, I get to go again?
Uh-huh.
Okay, wait, I got to write my name because I'm writing down everybody's stuff.
Me
All
too.
right, don't hate me because you ain't me. I'm going with Sarah Lucina.
Okay, respectable.
Sarah, finally, somebody.
Okay.
I didn't say it was a good pick. I said it was respectable.
No.
Shut your mouth.
It's like, okay, you go ahead and take her because she's not on my list.
Yeah, she was number 10 on my list, so I'm very indifferent about her. Allison, let's hear why Sarah Lucina is going to win Survivor 40.
I just really like her. I liked how she played the game. I like how who is it? Siri?
Siri.
Siri.
Oh my God.
Like I get names right at all.
Siri, that's what you say into your iPhone.
I don't have an iPhone, asshole.
Siri, who's gonna win Survivor 40?
I have an Alexa, bitch. Listen, I think Sari, you know, when they were at the tribal council and Sari had her you know what I'm talking about. You know where I'm going, where she had the advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah was like, actually, no, you can't use it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just, she's just a boss to me. She's a boss bitch. I just love it. I just think she did a great job, and I really admire. You know, she's a detective or a cop or something. She reminds me of a female Derek Levasseur. They even look alike. I mean, people, come on here. It's just, you can't deny it, and I just think it's just too good. I don't know. That's just me. I like her. I don't think someone like her would tolerate me very long on the island. I think
definitely not.
I think she would be like, we gotta get this little bitch out of here.
She'd lock your ass up.
She gotta go
Fast.
Next time she goes to take an aqua dump, I may drown her ass. Get her out of here. So, but see, the good thing about me is I can make people like her crack. So I will find a way. That's how I operate. I will find a way to break someone like that. But anyway, I do like her. I respect her game, and I think she's great. So that is my number 3.
Yeah, I think that she, of course, like, I think that you bring up a really good point about her, how she's able to kind of make these like really like secretive, like mastermindy type of moves, really like a sleuth player, if you will. I'm very curious to see like how she's going to do it. And of course, Tony is going to be back with her in the same season too. So that's something to look out for as well. Are they going to reunite and do Cops 2.0, or are they going to try to target each other? I'm indifferent about Sarah, just because from what we heard, it was between her and Tina to come back, and Sarah took Tina's spot. So I would much rather see Tina play than Sarah. But I don't know. We'll see. What do you guys think? Alex,
Go ahead, Alex.
Okay. Yeah. I'm curious about Sarah. Like, I'm just really interested to see how this goes, because I think there's as wide a variety of possible outcomes for her as anyone. She does. I mean, I think in large part she won the last season due to being so under the radar. I mean, she came in clearly not as a threat among some other players who were massive threats, and that really served her well. It'll be interesting to see if that works this time, or if she was perceived as a non-threat and so was was off options that she wouldn't be offered this time, because people are more aware of her ability to, double deal, or maybe take their information elsewhere when they thought, they could trust her impeccably last time. Yeah, I mean, it just could go so many different ways with her. I mean, I could see it again where she's underestimated again, because again, there's so many people out here that make Sarah Lucina look like not a threat. But at the same time, everyone out there, I think, has such an amazing social game. Like, this is such a group of talkers and people that can really convince you that they're your friend and that they're on your side. And I don't know that Sarah Lucina is the best talker. I think, she said the right things, but I think she benefited from having people out there who needed her, because other people were making moves and they were thinking, oh, well, she's not going to make moves on me. So it'll be interesting to see, like, now that the perception of Sarah has changed, how does that change Sarah's chances in the game?
I don't know. Hansa would call her a good talker. You talk too good. So
I was waiting for that reference.
As soon as I heard Alex say it, it's like, oh my God, he went all hands on her ass. Sarah wasn't high on my list, because I think there's dominant females that are going to take her out, that are going to pair up, that she might not have opportunities with. And I don't think Tony's going to let her go far, for sure. So I don't see the bad boys, what you going to do alliance going on. I just do not see it.
Well, we'll see how she does. So next we have we're back to Alex. Your next pick. So go ahead.
Oh man.
Oh, Alex has 2? No,
just one right now.
Allison took Sarah.
Yeah.
What's that?
Allison took Sarah. Never mind. I got all confused. It's an age thing. Don't worry about me.
Oh, honey, I'm there. Don't worry.
I'm really torn between two right now.
Don't take mine.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and take Kim.
Okay.
Kim
Spradlin.
Spradlin. She's just so good. At this point in the draft, I just think it's kind of crazy she hasn't been taken.
Yeah.
Her reputation is like really big, you know, like, I mean, people do list her on all these articles, like who played the greatest game ever. I mean, she really did play such a dominant game that she will have a target going out there. And that's the only reason I think that she hasn't been drafted already. But if she's able to overcome that, like if people like Tony or any of these other big targets manage to steal the spotlight, she manages to get in with the group. I mean, everyone's in freaking trouble, man, because she is so good at making people feel like they're wanted. That's the thing she's better at than anybody else. Is like all those girls at the end were so positive that Kim was taking them to the end. And then somehow Kim like cut them all in a way that didn't even leave them mad. I mean, she's really, really deft at the social maneuvering, which is the most difficult part of this game. And I just think, you know, again, like she's one of these players where her variety of outcomes is probably out early or going really deep. Like I don't see her being somebody that's taken out, around merge time. I just think if she's been getting to the merge, she's getting there with a core group that's getting her towards the end game.
I think that's a really great way to put it, Alex. Like if she's able to like sink her teeth in, like if she's like able to get her footings, like she will definitely make it far. What I always remember that impressed me about Kim is her confessionals where she talked about how good it is to have options, right? You could go with this group over here and that group over there, but having options is always really good in games like this. And for somebody to identify that is always like really impressive to me. Of course, like you're right, Alex, everybody does talk about her just like playing one of the single best like single season performances in Survivor history. Like she had just a hell of a run. And of course, like we talked about Danny saying that she would only play again if it was a all winner season. Same for Kim. She's gone on record and said that as well. So I think she's really going to like fight for that win too. I think she's going to be equally as hungry as Danny is to bring it home. And I think that she really could. She was my number 7 pick overall. So I don't know. We'll see. But from one Kim to another, Kim, what do you think about Kim Spradlin?
I'm really pissed that Alex took her because I've just been sitting here going, no, Alex, no. Okay, cute. No, Alex, and no. Cute. Alex, fuck you.
This is how everybody in my fantasy baseball league feels.
Well, I got new BFFs then. So no, I love Kim Spradlin, and I think just on the name alone that she deserves the win.
Mm-hmm.
She's awesome. She's seriously, I would say in my top 3 favorite players of all time.
Yeah.
Ever. For strategically, socially,
she is truly the triple threat.
She is going to be tough to beat. She's physically strong. She's going to be a tough one to beat, period. Mm-hmm. And I love her.
Yeah. Allison, what about you? What do you think about Kim?
There were a couple of seasons that I missed, and this is another one. I apologize. I'm not familiar.
You need to watch because
you need to watch her.
Like the Kim show from day one.
It's a rough season because so many people. I mean, this was the kind of what people refer to as like the dark era of Survivor when they were really. Yeah. I mean, they were casting the way Big Brother casts. I mean, they were really doing a lot of recruiting. It's very evident that a lot of people who are out there with her don't understand the game they're out there to play, and that they make moves and then they're like, oh, wait, I need to do this thing, and it's 2 rounds too late.
Gotcha.
But I mean, she maximized on her opportunity to the full, as well as anyone ever has.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I think her game, even though the season itself sucked bad, but she as a player, I think could have stacked up against any season.
Yeah, Totally agree. Mars in the chat says Kim was able to cut people off, and the person left saying, "Thank you, Kim. You got my vote." And I think that's a perfect way to describe Kim. She's something that a lot of Big Brother runner-ups are failing to do lately. All right, so moving on. Now that we've talked about the Kim on Survivor, let's talk about our lovely Kim here with us tonight. Who is your third pick?
Nice transition.
Thanks.
Well, I was going to go back to Allison's discussion of P and talk about Parvati, but instead I'm going to go with you'll have to think of somebody else because I'm taking Yule.
Oh, okay. That was my number 4 pick. That's who I was going for next. All right.
Really?
So, yeah. So I'm surprised that he got this far down our list.
I am too.
So Kim, why is Yule Kwon going to be the winner of season 40?
I think Yule is going to. He is an unintimidating physical force. I think mentally, he is so mentally prepared to come into this game. Whereas some of these other people, I have the feeling we're going to see like Michelle or Adam or something. I think they're going to fangirl over the Robs and the Sandras and stuff like that. I don't think Yule will fangirl. I think Yule has been mentally prepping and he's ready to go for it. I think he could do well.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I feel like this is a pretty popular opinion within the Survivor community. A lot of people are excited to see him play again. A lot of people are really high on his chances as well. You're right. He's a great physical threat. He's a really great social and strategic threat as well. He knows Parvati from their original season, Cook Islands, which is a good connection as well. And if those two team up together again, of course, Parvati would absolutely be targeted first before Yule, I think.
Absolutely.
So I feel like he's one of these more like quieter under the radar winners that aren't like talked about too much for some odd reason, because he is a very dominant winner of Survivor. So I'm very excited to see him play again as well. Alex, what do you think?
I am too.
I mean, the fact that I hadn't picked Yule by now just speaks to how much I love this freaking cast, because I love Yule. I mean, he really is one of my favorite players to ever play. I really, really like Yule a lot. I'm somebody who's like for years been like, why haven't we seen Yule play again? I mean, he's really, when people ask me like, who'd you like to get to see a second chance, Yule's always towards the top of my list. I can't say enough good things about him. But again, man, this cast is so good. Like I really love a lot of these people. It could go a lot of ways. I mean, I could see Yule going very far and playing the same. He's very logical. He's very analytical. He doesn't make dumb emotional mistakes. He's somebody who really sits and thinks about what is smart for me before he acts. And that's something not enough people do in these games, in all of these games, you know? I mean, you're really benefits you to stop and think about like what your next best move is before you just start reacting. And he does that. You know, I think the only thing you could say as like a knock on him was that he had the Tyler Perry idol before it was called the Tyler Perry idol. So like for a lot of the back half of the game, he had that protection where, you know, he could kind of like, you know, people were too scared to vote for him knowing that he could play it after the vote. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. And again, like I said, I mean, there's so many there's just social butterflies abound on this cast. And as smart as he is strategically, I don't know if he's necessarily going to be as good as a lot of these people at just like getting in there and making his alliance. But if he gets into a majority alliance, I mean, I would look for him to be, you know, to find himself quickly becoming the mastermind of that group and making a lot of the strategic decisions for them.
Sure.
Oh, absolutely. I could see him if he gets in with like the Michelles of the world. I think that he will dominate an alliance. I agree with you on that.
I think there's a lot of people that really benefit from working with Yule because he, you know, especially if you're kind of more of an under the radar player, because he can be, you can push him in front of you if things go badly. Like he's the strategist, but at the same time, he's not someone that's going to, you can always trust him to act in what he believes to be his own best interest. And that's really predictable for the most part. And you want to work with predictable people.
That is true.
Very good points about Yule. Allison, what do you think about Yule?
I'm really curious to see how how he is around people like Tyson and Sandra and Tony Vlachis. I love seeing these level-headed people surrounded by people that are just the opposite. It just makes me laugh. I love it. I live for it. So that's what I'm kind of looking forward to seeing. So, but that's just me.
Alrighty.
He might be the yin to their yang, though.
Yeah,
That's
good balance.
true.
Yeah, the voice of reason.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he could be on the listening end on a lot of conversations. That gives him a lot of information, a lot of power.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I could see it.
So I am going to pick my third and then fourth and final pick. My third pick is going to be Sophie. Let me just write that down. All right, so I am actually very high on Sophie's chances as well. I think that she's going to be very like under the radar, kind of similar to Adam. I feel like I have like a theme with the people that I picked so far. I picked Adam, Danny, and Sophie. She's another person I think will fly under the radar very, very well. Of course, we saw in her season she was able to win by kind of hiding under like how big of a presence Coach was in her season. And of course, we have all these huge, even bigger personalities. Multiply that times like 19, and you get this season of Survivor. So she's going to be able to play even more under the radar than her original season, which I think is very advantageous for her. Of course, she's very smart. She's on RHAP all the time, talking some really brilliant, great strategy as well. And I'm just very excited to see her play again. I think she's going to do very, very well.
I'm excited to see what her and what's her name, Sandra sit together. I'd love to see a brainstorming session between those two.
Yeah, that's kind of my big question mark with Sophie, though, is like who does Sophie align with in Big Brother? Sorry, in Survivor 40.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sophie, is another one that I'm really interested to see out there with this group, because there's a wide variety of outcomes. Again, I mean, really, really wide. I think that she, like you said, she's really, really smart, and that can be both good and bad. Like, I think she's going to know the optimal strategy. I think one thing she really benefited from in her season was that there was this trio running the game in her, Albert, and Coach that ended up making it to the end. And when they would disagree about something, like, and Coach would put his foot down and Sophie would put her foot down, Albert always sided with Sophie, and Sophie would get her way. And I'm curious to see if she's in a group with other really, aggressive strategists. If she is not going to get her way with the group, does that, how does that play? You know what I mean? Like, how does that affect her? How does her insistence on somebody being the next target affect other people? Because I do think that's one of the shortcomings of the really intelligent, is a lot of times you don't realize how you're coming across to people. And I think Sophie sometimes, because she's so smart, maybe might accidentally come across as condescending when she doesn't mean to.
Yeah,
and,
I totally agree.
That's one thing that can work against her.
No,
I do like her.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I think Alex is good.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that Sophie is, the only thing I can think of is she's too smart for her own good. And I think that could play to her detriment, because while she's smart, book smart, and she's just smart, I think that she might look at other people going, yeah, that's not the right idea, and I don't agree with you, and because you're not agreeing with me, I need to look elsewhere. I think she's going to have a difficult time, because she really does not have these preset relations to start out with alliances that we see with a lot of these other people. So she has to really fit herself in with an alliance. With her personality and her brain smarts, I don't know that she could do that. I could see Sophie being a super early boot, or them going, we'll tag her along. I don't think they can tag her along, because if she disagrees with them, they're going to vote her ass out.
Okay. We have Mars in the chat. They say, Tyler, I thought you had the strongest team, but the Sophie pick tanked it for me. So we'll see if
Ooh.
this is where I went wrong. Allison, do you have any thoughts about our Queen Sophie?
No, it's like I said, I'm just curious to see how she holds her own against other strong strategists who are opinionated and don't agree. I'm living for that kind of Clash of the Titans kind of shit.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to go on to my last pick here. Hopefully this is received a little bit better. So after this, my top 10 is actually cleared out. So it looks like we're kind of all on the same page here. So my last pick is going to be Jeremy. I think that Jeremy is a...
You bitch.
I'm sorry. So I think that Jeremy is, of course, somebody to watch out for. He, just like we were talking about with Tyson, learning from your mistakes of not winning your first time around. He was pre-jury the first time, and then he comes back and wins like a very, very good, strong, solid game in Survivor Second Chances. I think that he is a physical threat. I think that he is a social threat as well. He's able to find some hidden immunity idols as well, which is always a good thing in this day and age in Survivor. And of course, he has really good connections. We were talking about earlier the whole like Natalie, Jeremy bond, but he actually has a lot of connections. Like he's gone to a lot of these Survivor events. He's very close with RHAP as well, so he has like that umbrella of connections too. I just think that Jeremy could easily pull out winning like another returnee season.
I like him. I just really like him.
He's very likable.
Yeah, I like Jeremy. I think I would like to see him and Yul work together. I think that would be good.
I could see that.
I could see that too. And they would be very level-headed together as well.
It'd be a good
I mean,
balance.
honestly, if you get them and Wendell together, I mean, that's a really interesting group of and Ethan. Like, those are like some of the most strategic yet level-headed survivors to ever play the game, really, when you think about it. So it'll be really interesting that all of those people are out there at the same time, even with some of the other huge personalities that exist. Jeremy, yeah, like you said, I mean, he played a really great game on Cambodia. I mean, really incredible game. I mean, towards like, I don't know when the point was where like everyone had him in their final three, but it was like, 7 or something. Like he had that game pretty well locked down for the whole back stretch.
Yeah.
And
it's hard for me to like think of like a weakness of Jeremy too. Like because his team was so well-rounded in Cambodia.
Well, it's like for a weakness for Jeremy, you almost have to go to that, right? That his game is so well-rounded that everyone's going to be like, look, I love Jeremy. He's a great guy. He's a father, all this stuff. We got to get rid of him or we're going to vote for him to win. You know what I mean? I mean, and that's the problem with the season like this is sometimes if you're too good, then you're exposing yourself. And coming in, these people are all desperate to make sure they're not the first one to go out on the all-winners season. Yeah. Anyone's looking for any reason they can find. If you're somebody that, played a good enough game that other people are able to point to and say like, look, man, we just don't want to be dealing with this down the road. I don't think Jeremy's, someone who's really in danger of going home early because his strength is such an asset in challenges, and he's not someone who's like demonstrated he's duplicitous. I mean, he played idols on allies and stuff like that. I mean, he managed to win a game without like showing a dirty resume. So in a lot of ways, he like won while still preparing him to, do well in the future. But again, man, like that all just speaks to how damn good he is.
Yeah. Kim, what do you think about Jeremy?
Jeremy is the other half of my Ethan. I'm almost as pissed that you took Jeremy as I was that Alex took him.
We couldn't tell.
Sandwiched. Seriously, it's such a big move. Okay, Tyler. So Jeremy's awesome, and I think that's going to work against him. Either he's at the end or he's an early boot. Period. Okay. He's the one. Actually, I don't think early boot. I could see him being that pre-merge boot where they look at him going, you know what? You cannot let him get to merge. He will win the game there. But he's loyal. He's strategic. He's a nice guy. He's a good competitor. We need to keep him on our tribe till merge.
I could totally see him getting dicked over like big time.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
I could see him in the last pre-merge boot.
All right. Well, of course, we don't have a pre-merge boot here. We have the winner of Sequester going next. I'm trying to like transition these as smoothly as possible.
That was funny.
Thank you.
Tyler,
good
you're
Lord.
doing so good.
Thank you,
You're
thank
so
you.
awesome.
So of course, so Kim, who is your last pick for this draft? Who is your last pick for who's going to win season 40 of Survivor?
You know, I sit there, the people that are left are all big personalities except Michelle.
That's fair.
But I don't have any OTT people really. When you look at it, I've got Natalie, I've got Yule, I've got Ethan.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I've got. I think I need an OTT person. I think I'm going to take Parvati.
Okay.
I'm going to take Parvati because the girl is a bitch.
Yes.
And she's a strategic bitch.
Yeah.
And she knows this game. She knows how to find idols, which, let's face it, in recent seasons is
Mhm.
a good thing to know how to do. She knows how to play the idols on
Yeah.
herself, on her alliances.
Mhm.
And I think she's going to be like Dr. Will was when he came back into All Stars. And he's like, I hate every one of you. I don't want to be on this island with you. I hate you all. But I'm good
I love
enough that
that.
I'm gonna keep you with me right up till the end. And she's gonna tell every single person that, and they're gonna believe her.
I love that analogy. I really do.
Cool. Now you're talking me into Parvati actually doing well on Survivor
Yeah.
40.
Yeah, I wish I'd picked her now.
Oh man.
I think she is. She is going to be the one who stands there and goes, I hate all of you. I don't want to be here with all of you. I know I'm better than all of you. And bitch, vote me out then. Go ahead. I want all of you to vote me, and nobody will vote her.
Yeah. So I think what's working in her favor here is she had such a huge target in Survivor Heroes versus Villains the entire season, right? I think that her target is less so on this season, so she'll be able to skip by a little easier. But this girl is just resilient as fuck. She's like the cockroach in Survivor in terms of like you just can't kill her. She's just like, and not in like an annoying like Ben type of way, but in like a really great social, strategic, physical player. She's another one of these like huge triple threat type of deals. Yeah, and I think that's what's working in her favor. Is she's not going to have like as big of a target. The target's going to be a lot more divided than it was in Heroes versus Villains, where like literally everybody was like honed in on Parvati, and they still couldn't get her out.
Exactly. In this game, how do you hone in on Parvati when you have a Rob, when you have Sandra, when
Tony.
when you have Tony, you've got like 4 or 5 big villains ahead of her.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh, sweet innocent Parvati, who's gonna pick on her?
Yeah, here's the thing that I'm thinking about her. She's had a kid, and I'm kind of wondering that's either going to split in one of two ways. She's either going to be even more relentless because she's got more to play for, or she's going to calm down and use that kind of calmness and look, I've changed, But then again, when someone like that comes in and changes up how they're playing their game, I'm going to zone in on you even more rather than zoning in on you how you normally play, because my ass knows your ass is up to something.
Wouldn't it be poetic if she was the one that got idled out in the merge episode, when in the merge of Heroes versus Villains, she played 2 idols on 2 other people? It was like, no, please, I need her in my draft.
See, and the opposite of Allison, I don't think she's gonna be the nurturing kind of one out there. I think she's gonna go mama bear.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be mama bear mode, and she is going to be a bitch to deal with, and they're not going to be able to get her out.
I hope she does. I don't want her to change her game up at all. I want it to stay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I agree.
Alex, what do you think about Queen Parvati?
I'm going to disagree. I think this is a really bad draw for her. I think if you look at the people that are there, I mean, Tyson, Sandra, and Boston Rob were united in their goal to get her out on the villains tribe. And Parvati has to go. And I actually disagree with you, Tyler. I think her target has only gone up because they were adamant she has to go first or she'll make it to the end. She didn't go first, and what happened? She made it to the end.
She didn't.
So I think she comes in with a massive target with no clear friends. I mean, where's her Amanda? Where's her girls from back in the day? She doesn't have any of those people. She's got 3 clear, already established enemies. I just think it's an uphill battle. I mean, could she do it again? Absolutely. I'm not going to discount her skills, what she's capable of, what she's done in the past. Her resume speaks for itself. It's incredible. But I just don't love this draw for her. I do think that she's going to have a hard time getting people to want to work with her because coming into this season, there's probably going to be a lot of people looking at her as an easy early target because, you know, and by extension, Boston Rob and Amber. I mean, that could be 4 people ready to target Parvati off the bat. I mean, so we'll see what happens.
That's a fantastic point, Alex. I didn't think about that, but you're totally right on that.
But wait, hold on.
Yo,
they're going to be, Alex, they're going to be in tribes, right?
Yep,
they're going to look to what makes any of those other pairs stronger than a married couple. Just like married last week, been married for a long time, 4 daughters, Italian, Boston, whatever. I think Parvati is going to assimilate herself in with all these people that want to break up the Tyson, Sandra, Rob, Amber, specifically Rob, Amber. If Parvati is on the same tribe as Amber, she is going to be able to very easily get people to do that. If she's on the same tribe as Rob, are you telling me she can't get a majority to get rid of Rob, throwing that Rob and Amber thing out there?
Yeah. And I will say, I think an all-winner season is a better draw for her than just a returnee season because if some of these people weren't winners, then kind of like the legacy of her and kind of her past track record might be a bigger deal. But I think there's so many people out here who have gone, you know, they've all won the game. So I think that fact alone, like, you know, someone like Kim is not going to be intimidated about the idea of working with Parvati for a vote or 2 if it's going to get her where she wants to go. So that definitely works in her favor.
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see what works in Alex's favor for his 4th pick.
Hey.
You're so smooth with these, Tyler.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
I'm really happy this person fell this far because I really like them a lot. I think they're super underrated coming into the season, and I think the fact that they didn't get drafted just speaks to how underrated they are still. I'm going with Wendell. I think Wendell's a very good player. I think the fact that, you know, he had idols for like so much of the back part of that season really, you know, tainted his legacy a little bit. Like people just remember him as like, well, they couldn't get rid of Wendell because he had all the idols. What they're not remembering is that nobody wanted to get rid of Wendell, even if he didn't have the idols. He had the numbers. Would they have maybe taken a shot at Dominic? Maybe. But nobody wanted to take a shot at Wendell. I mean, Laurel was approaching Wendell with all her plans. You know, I mean, anytime, God, I'm spacing on his name. From Kentucky.
Dominic?
What was his name?
Oh, Nick?
Oh, Donathan? Oh, you froze. Donathan?
You know what I'm talking about? Oh, Donathan. Yes, thank you. Donathan. Yeah. It's like an unconventional name. I couldn't remember. Yeah, anything would approach, you know, Laurel with an idea. It had to be approved by Wendell or they were shutting it down. So I just think his social game, in hindsight, isn't remembered as well as it actually, as being as good as it actually was. Because the idols that he had down the stretch and because of the fact that he ended up going to the end, you know, with Dominic, and people were like, but that's not the right call. But obviously it was a fine call because he won anyway. And I just think he's super underrated. I think, you know, a lot of the things that we're saying about these other people who we've picked apply to Wendell, except without the target.
Yeah, I think that Wendell you're exactly right about him being a big social threat. I met him at the Big Brother premiere party last year, and he was just charming the pants off of everybody. He was just such sorry, Kim, but he is such a smooth talker. So what's a really cool stat actually is the people that voted for Wendell to win Survivor Ghost Island were all the last people that were in the game. So Laurel, Angela, Donathan, Sebastian, Kellen, Chelsea. So the longer these people are with him, the better his social game is to like build these bonds that obviously pay off for him. So I think that this is a really good pick here. He fell kind of far. in my list, but that's just because I hate Ghost Island as a season so much.
Oh God, it was the
Well,
first
that
one
I mean,
we
and this
covered
cast
together,
is just
too.
full of heavy hitters. You know, it's
Yeah.
really hard to pick any one of these people and say they're gonna, you know, do really well or really poorly because I mean, and it's unconventional too. Like it's a lot of people who are players and might be great players even at the expense of making good TV, which is interesting. And it's not something we see them do often. And I love it because the game, the level of gameplay is going to create good TV.
Yeah.
You don't need these big dramatic moments. They're going to come organically when these people are all playing to win at the highest level.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah. And I just want to go on record in saying that Wendell was my winner pick for Ghost Island.
Allison never
picked
lets
him.
anybody forget about this.
I picked him. Nobody else did. Just
He won by a
throwing it out
tiebreaker.
there.
It's not that special.
Shush your mouth when I'm talking.
Oh yeah. Well,
Oh, Tyler got shushed.
I'm trying to smooth transition that over
There
to
isn't a way.
somebody who will
Don't
never
smooth
shush
talk
their
me.
mouth, who
That's
will never
right.
start talking,
Shush.
stop talking is Allison. So Allison, go ahead and give us our fourth pick.
Listen, you
Or
guys,
third-
because
fourth pick.
Wendell was one of mine, but hold on a second. You know, this guy. Hold on a second. I'm going with, you know, Tony Vlachis.
Ugh. Okay.
What is that? Did I go
Go ahead.
when you
Yeah,
picked anybody? I have
Go.
such an epic list. Y'all don't even know. So
I hope he tunnels the bunker out of the giant Boston Rob head.
that's what I'm saying. I really love him. This guy's in the dirt. He's in the sand. He's digging holes. He's in the trenches. He's hiding. He's taking care of business. And I love it. I'm all for it. I just love it. I don't know what else to say. I just think he's great.
So I will take the torch here. I think Tony is one of the most overrated Survivor players ever.
Of course
Seriously, like I don't think that he's a great player at all. I think that Trish is the true mastermind of Survivor Cagayan by far, and she's the only reason that he was as successful as he was because she was the one keeping him in check. And you know, there is proof to this theory. Let's see his performance in Survivor Game Changers. Take away Trish, he is an absolute mess. He's a second boot, and I don't think he's going to be successful this time around either. I'm sorry, but he's number 19 on my list. I don't really have a lot of respect for him as a player. He's good TV, he's entertaining, but that's as far as it goes in terms of what I think of him as a potential player.
Yeah, see, I almost picked this guy right here.
Get that gif off of my
You know
screen.
what I'm saying? But I stopped myself. I didn't pick Ben because I was trying to be nice. But since you want to take a shit on my final pick, you get the Ben treatment.
Thanks.
No, and I get it. He is good TV, but I really feel like there's other layers to him. And these people all won for a reason. And no one dragged Tony. Tony wasn't a goat. He played the game. All of these people played the game, except, Ben got idols handed to him, which is fine. It happens from time to time. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like give him a little bit of credit. How many freaking survivors have you seen hide like he did? And I mean, get down in the dirt. You don't know what's in that sand. You could have sand tarantulas down there. That's like taking your life in your own damn hands. That's some crazy shit.
Kim, what do you think?
Tarantulas.
That's right.
Kim, what do you think about Tony?
I think that I want to see a picture of a sand tarantula, but that's beside the point.
Oh, I'm going to hold on a sec. It's coming.
You go find one.
All right.
Because what with living out here in the desert and actually having tarantulas, honey, they do not like water. But what do I think of Tony? I think that Tony is overrated. I don't like Tony. I think Tony's great entertainment, but I don't think Tony's a great player. And I think he's real fucking lucky to be invited back to an all-winner season.
Yeah.
When they're winners that I like. I would have had Tina over him.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I would have had Fabio over him or Bob.
Look, you cannot tell me.
They should have extended the invitation to Chris before they extended it. Just keep
I don't know.
Chris.
I'd rather have Tony than Chris.
Yeah, but look here. You can't tell me you see that while you're hiding by the water well. You're not about to shit yourself. I mean, look at that.
That just
God,
proves how psycho he is.
God, that's horrible. Oh, I mean, it's just horrible. Like, I'm gonna throw up. That's disgusting. I can't deal with it. But seriously, there's Tony. That's Tony right there. Okay,
The sand tarantula.
deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, from an entertainment perspective, I love Tony. Like, I would love to see him go far. I mean, just for my own viewing pleasure, because I think, you know, he's very unique. Like, he brings something different to the game, and he's going to be, you know, one of a few people out there this season that really stand out in that respect. And I think that's why he's probably not going to go that far. But
I agree.
the thing about Tony is just that, like, you know, like, he came into the last season with a huge target, and he, you know, it was like, we got to see like what, and that was one of the biggest questions going into the season, like, what's Tony going to do with this huge target on his back? He reacted about as bad as you possibly can. Like, I can't imagine much worse he could have done than like run off into the idol run off into the woods for the idol screaming.
Seriously.
And I do feel like he probably put too much pressure on himself to do well that season, and then he was kind of like devastated when he did it. So I just like, it'll be interesting to see, and I hope that he comes into this kind of like playing with house money. Like, look, if I go out first, it's because I'm amazing. You know what I mean? Just tell yourself whatever you need to tell you to go out there and have a good time. Don't necessarily play that you have to win. And if Tony can do that, I think he might have a shot. But if he goes out there and puts too much pressure on himself and starts doing too much right away, he's dead in the water.
Allison, who do you think Tony's going to talk llama to this season?
Who do I think he's going to talk llama to?
Yeah.
I think he's going to try to do that to Sandra. Did he play? He played with Sandra. He did, didn't he?
Yeah, and
Yeah, they were on
Sandra,
that same tribe together.
Oh, yeah.
She was the one that, you know, turned the target on. He's like, I'm going off to fight idols.
yeah. She votes him out. And she says, and that's what you get. That's what you get. The queen stays queen. Say hi to Sierra for me.
I want that. I want that twosome together again. I feel like I need that in my life.
Oh my gosh.
I just need it.
I don't think that's going to happen, because I think Sandra, I think she'll work to bring Tony in and use him. But I think Sandra's going to be joined at the hips with Rob Amber Tyson. I think she wants that strength, and she wants those bigger targets, and Tony is not a bigger target than her.
I really hope that like Sandra and Amber are on one tribe and Rob and Tyson are on another, or something like that, because I feel like that would do the most to you know, separate established pregame alliances.
I mean, we're bringing up here that like however like the tribe breaks down, like that's really going to determine a lot.
So
of
much. Yeah.
I agree.
So, well, we'll see what determines Allison's last pick here, was her fifth pick. So go ahead, Allison. You have your last pick.
Oh, I get to pick one more person?
We each get 5, remember?
Oh, okay.
I said my last pick was 4 because I'm getting the whoever's left over.
Oh, I picked Ben.
Oh, God. Tell us why Ben is the winner of Survivor 40
I really feel
please.
like it's personal, because I know it's going to piss you off, and I love it. It just makes me so happy. The longer this guy stays in the game, for season 40, the happier I'm going to be, just because I get to see shit like this on a regular basis. I liked Ben. I liked his story. This was a turn for me, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't think he'll win. I don't think he will make it very far. This was the turn for me where Survivor was abusing the idol privilege. I really look, season 39 freaking has idol in the goddamn title. I mean, it's over. It's overboard.
Right.
It's too much. I'm over it. And this is when I really started to notice it a little bit more, because I feel like they were like, I don't know, hiding the idol right under him come on, give me a break. So I don't want to get too off topic, but I'm just hoping with this season of All Winners that they roll it back with the idols, maybe kick it old school, make them rough it more, make them earn it more. Enough with the idols. Maybe go cold turkey with the idol. Maybe only have one idol or just something at a time. Just stop putting 10 idols out there. I'm over it.
I agree.
Ben is like number 37 out of 38 for like my winner rankings. That's how low I have him.
Nobody enjoyed Edge of Extinction more than Ben.
Yeah, exactly.
Moving on up.
Exactly. Spoiler alert, Chris is number 38.
Right.
I an awful player. I think Chrissy should have been invited back for this season instead of Ben, the real winner of Survivor 35. The mark of a good winner to me is not somebody who has to depend on idols, whether they're challenge wins or hidden ones. The really great Survivor players, they've held on to their idols and haven't had to play them. Kim Spradlin had an idol like the whole fucking game, and she had those options that we talked about where she wasn't targeted every single tribal council. And I just hope that we have this like huge legacy of a season, and what a damper that would be on this whole like 40 seasons worth of work if Ben is the winner of season 40. I think that the winners know better, like with their Survivor fans, than to let somebody like Ben win Survivor 40. So that's my only hope there.
Yeah. I agree with you there on that. All of that. Everything, ditto, duplicate.
All right. So I agree with a lot of what Alex has to say all the time. So I'm going to let Alex pick.
Ass kiss.
Oh, seriously.
But I do agree with a lot of what he says. He's a very intelligent person. So Alex, go ahead and give us your last pick for who's going to win Survivor season 40.
Okay. So we're down to 3 people. We got Nick Wilson, Rob Mariano, and Michelle Fitzgerald, correct?
Deb's favorite winner, Michelle Fitzgerald.
So, yeah, I mean, just for a little bit of insight, I think if we were drafting one of those leagues where, like, you get points for things, just like a point for a random immunity win, point for a random confessional, I would take Michelle. Because I think Michelle, out of these 3 players, has the best chance for longevity in terms of, like, why would you target Michelle? I think she'll be around there a while. But if we're drafting for a winner, and I believe we're doing that, I don't love Michelle's odds. I mean, she's young. She comes into this season with arguably the worst winning reputation. You know what I mean? And I feel like winners picking the winner of a champion season, Michelle would have to play an amazing game for them to like justify in their own minds, I think, her being their champion. So I think that makes it kind of tough for her. Age, again, also really working against her with this older cast. So I'm going to take Boston Rob. I do not love his chances to win this game. His target is as big as anyone's and as it should be. He's coming to the game with his wife. He's played this game more times than anyone. He's done so well so many times. It would be ridiculous to let him get to the end. And yet he's got friends on this cast. He's got a wife on this cast. If he manages to make it to the merge with friends, I mean, we've seen he knows how to lock down a majority and keep it locked down. Is the scenario plausible where Boston Rob wins the season? No, like not at all. But it's possible. It's absolutely possible.
All right. I agree with this. He out of like the people left, of course, you're right that like he does have the most connections. But of course, like his reputation precedes him. Like we literally said earlier, he's gonna have a giant fucking head on the beach 30 days before this season.
No shit. How is that even
isn't going to take the giant head down?
Right. Well, that's Kim. You bring up a really good point. Like, I'm of course, Jeff like loves Boston Rob. So like maybe we could see a little favoritism towards our favorite Boston guy. Of course, like the casuals fucking love him.
I'm pretty sure those heads, like the finale happened before they left town, though. So like whoever, like before they left for Fiji, they probably saw those heads.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Probably. And like Boston Rob's head wasn't already big enough.
Yeah.
Now he's got his own fucking beach. Are you
Right.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Look at that family, though. I mean, look at that. That is amazing. I don't know. I just think it's a cute. Look at that.
they
I don't
do
know.
have they've got cute little Italian named
Oh,
girls.
they do. They're adorbs. I love
Yeah.
it. Look. Okay, anyway.
But it's like, yeah, I mean, here's a guy who I've said before, like he's not, his reputation's too big. And somehow, you know what I mean? It's like when you get out there and you don't have food or you don't have whatever, he's a provider and he's loyal. And I mean, if everyone else starts like, making moves and being duplicitous and Rob is presenting himself as like the old school option who just wants people to work with and build a shelter with, then like there's some comfort to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Allison, any thoughts on Boston Rob? I'm sure you love him.
I have been in love with Boston Rob
Of course.
for 17 years. I love him. I just think he's great. I just love him. I mean, he's hot, and he's played a good game. I mean, he's good. I mean, he's more than just a pretty face. But yeah, he plays a good game. I do feel the odds are against him. I think a lot of people might, that you could say let's get it Rob by getting Amber out. Amber hasn't played in a long time. I would get him out before I would get her out.
Mm-hmm.
She's a little rusty, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But he is coming right off the damn island from playing. I mean, he needs to go. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think that the only kind of benefit is like how smart of a strategic mind he is. Let's not forget his win was like a cult like environment. It was that good. And of course, like I think like one of my favorite interviews on RHAP is like he did with Rob like maybe like 2 years ago or something like that. But it was just a really great showcase of
the one where he was talking about Immanuel Kant.
Yeah. He just
freaking amazing.
Really has a brilliant mind. That's kind of over this like alpha male kind of facade. So I think that he's like a triple threat as well. I think that people could target Amber before him just because like people would maybe be worried that he would have an idol or something before Amber. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I am of course like not high on his chances because like we all said, like his reputation precedes him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And speaking of big reputations, Kim.
Seriously, look. Okay, no, hold on.
Give us your last pick for who's gonna win Survivor 40, either Nick or Michelle.
Do you need some bliss stacks to take care of those chapped lips over there, Tyler?
Definitely, yeah.
Between Nick and Michelle, I think that I don't think either of them have a shot in hell. But with that being said, I think that Nick might have better aim than Michelle with that shot. So I think I don't know. You know what? And I've chatted with Michelle before and I like Michelle, but she doesn't have the social prowess that some of these other players have. Mm-hmm. She's not some strategic giant. She's good physically, but she's not what I would call a physical threat within this game. Same thing with Nick on all accounts, but I think Nick strategically just holds a hair advantage. So I'm going to take Nick and give you Michelle.
Okay. I that's totally fair. And Kim, I'm right on the same page with you about them kind of being neck and neck. Nick is 13 on my list and Michelle is 14. I'm right there with you. I think that Nick has a little bit more strategic prowess. And you're right. Like we have to think like these previous winners, they're really going to want to crown like a title to somebody who they think like deserve to win their season. Like, and of course, like Michelle is one of the most controversial winners we've ever had. Right.
Exactly.
So does Queen Sandra want to vote for Michelle Fitzgerald to win Survivor 40?
No way.
I don't think so. David versus Goliath was a really powerful, like big, like strategic, like really great beefy season. And so of course, like Nick's reputation is a little bit bigger than Michelle's. Sorry to cut you off, Kim. What were you gonna say?
No, all I was going to say is for these big players, Michelle could potentially be the perfect one to drag along right up to the end, because no former winner is going to vote for Michelle to win an all-winner season.
Yeah.
Therefore, wouldn't she be the perfect person to sit next to if you want that second title, or for Sandra, a third title? I would sit my ass next to Michelle all day long to get a third winner's title.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really great point. So Michelle has longevity, and I even though she's our last one, I'm still like, I'm okay with her being on my team. And this really speaks to the strength of this cast.
Yeah.
Is Michelle is our 20th pick out of 20. But we could still see a way for victory for her. We really could.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
No,
I'm
just
Wait.
being nice.
Everyone,
and
just
naughty.
let him polish this turd, please. Let's just hear him polish it.
Allison, it may be a polished turd, but it's still a turd. He's never going to polish it enough to make it a diamond.
I mean, I think the one argument like I would make for Michelle maybe over Nick is that one thing she really had going for her was she demonstrated flexibility.
Yeah.
Like a lot. And, we saw a couple times Nick get mad when people blindsided him, and like there's going to be a lot of blindsides this season. I think it's going to really work against you if you take those personally and hold a grudge and like need to get out the person who blindsided you. Michelle showed she was able to let go of those things. And I don't know if Nick can or not. So that's like, if I was going to make the argument, I do feel like Nick's probably the right pick there in terms of more likely to win. But if I was going to make the argument for Michelle, I think that's how I would make it.
I don't like Michelle at all. I'm sorry. I didn't like her win. I don't like her. I've got nothing on her.
Yeah.
Yeah. But how many inflexible people do we have in this season, though?
Yeah.
We've got Natalie, who made it her life's goal to go after every single person that got rid of Jeremy.
Yeah.
Right. How many times have we seen, Robin Amber?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even in their season, you just didn't cross them.
Yeah. Tyson goes to rocks instead of like switching up his game.
Exactly. We've got a lot of people that are simply not flexible at all. I think that Danny is not going to be flexible. I think Danny's going to dig it in. Sophie.
Yeah.
First time someone tells Sophie she's wrong, Sophie is like going to be like, yeah, bye.
Yeah. No, it's so interesting because there are a lot of shot callers, but they're not necessarily the most obvious ones. Like there's a lot of people who would love to be able to call the shots from the background. And I just don't think that's going to be possible this season. I think if you want to have a say in where the game's going, it's going to put you in the spotlight because everyone else is seeing and perceiving what's going on so well among this group. The game IQ level is very high.
And
I think that's where Kim is I think that's where Kim could roll right to the end because she's going to let them call their shots all day long.
That's true.
I think she's going to steer the ship, so to speak. She's not going to call the shot, but she's going to steer the ship.
One interesting statistic that kind of works in Michelle's favor is there have been 4 all returnee seasons, and women have won 3 out of 4 of those. So the odds are in Michelle's favor over Nick, just as in terms of statistics go. So that's why I'm kind of
you're reaching for it.
I mean, I'm trying to like give like a little bit of a kid. She's on my team. I have to defend her now, which I never thought I'd be saying. I have to defend Michelle Fitzgerald. So that is our pick. So just to recap what we have, Allison has Tyson, Sandra, Sarah, Tony, and Ben. Alex has Denise, Amber, Kim, Wendell, Rob. Kim has Ethan, Natalie, Yule, Parvati, and Nick. And I have Adam, Danny, Sophie, Jeremy, Michelle. So Mars says in the chat, Parvati, Sarah, and Jeremy played a stronger game on their second time on Survivor. Which one of the bottom tier winners might surprise us on their second visit? That's a really good question. And
I don't know.
I think Yule. I think Yule's going to be a very, very strong second time player.
yeah, I would second that.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
I agree with that. I don't know if I could say. I think his first game was really great, though. If we're talking about winners that like aren't as respected, I would go with Wendell. Because, like I said, I just think you know all the idols that he got at the end. People are just like, oh, he won with idols, the same way they do with Ben. And to lump Wendell and Ben together is to characteristically misunderstand the social relationships that Wendell was able to develop.
Mm-hmm. My answer will be Amber. I think that a lot of people, she's pretty bottom tier because a lot of people say Boston Rob should have won that season. He was the one that really played hard, and she just won because of a bitter jury. I think that she could surprise us on a third visit out there. And then, of course, we have the question, who do we think is going to be the first boot? I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. I think Tony's going to be our first boot. Sorry, Allison.
No, let me ask the question real quick. Kim and Alex, did either one of you have Ben on your list?
No.
No. Okay. Tyler, I took one for you. I put Ben on my list because I didn't want you to be stuck with him last. I actually had somebody else picked, and I thought, you know what? I'm not going to do that to him. But you know what? Fuck you. I wish I had now.
Yeah, you picked Ben before Boston Rob.
Well, I didn't want you to get stuck with him. But here's the thing. I don't think Tony's going to be. You do? What was that?
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
She took one for the team.
I took one for you. Don't say I don't ever do anything for you. God forbid. I would love to hear you polish that turd. I would love to hear that. But anyway, yes, you think Tony's going to be the first boot?
I do. I really do.
I could see it. I mean, I'll be honest. I could probably see it.
Mm-hmm.
I could definitely see how that would happen. I mean, he's really, you're really worried about him when you're out there. I mean, if he's going out and finding idols, that's idols you don't have. So, you don't want somebody like that out there. But I do wonder if, with this many people who understand the game this well, if there won't be a person or two, or even an alliance that decides we're going to use Tony as a smokescreen. Tony is so big and so in everyone's face that by keeping him around, it'll disguise what we're actually doing here. And that's, I think, Tony's best chance at going deep in this game is like, the same way Boston Rob used Philip. I mean, Philip was antagonizing everybody and driving them nuts, and they didn't even they were so hell-bent on getting Philip out. Yeah. And they didn't understand the game well enough, and Rob just, ran him to the end. So, obviously people understand this game well, but it would just be interesting to see if anyone tried to use Tony in that fashion, because I think that's possible.
I think Sophie's going to be the first boot.
I agree.
I think Sophie is. I just don't think she's got strong enough social skills to overcome the condescending tone that I can see coming out the first time someone tells her no. I think Sophie's going to be what they would consider an easy first boot.
Yeah, no, I agree, because I think, she brings like a strong will to the strategic discussion, but she doesn't necessarily, she's not bad in challenges, but she's not going to be somebody that's carrying her team. Sophie seems like there's a lot of reasons early on for you to just say she doesn't have friends out there the way some of these people do. It just seems like it would be very easy to target Sophie first.
Yeah, and unless the tribe she's on wins, I could see her being an easy first boot. I don't think it's going to be much of a split vote, and everyone will just jump on board for the sake of agreeing.
Mm-hmm.
Kim has turned into a robot. I don't know if anyone's noticed.
What?
Kim, you sound like a robot. You have like two different pitches going on at the same time.
Really?
But I agree with everything that you're saying here. I think that You guys are making me worried about my third pick here. There was that one moment where Sophie was like, "Shut up, I'm talking," or whatever. I think it was too, but she could easily get frustrated again like that.
But I also think everything that we're saying about Sophie could also potentially be said about, Sarah, or maybe even Amber, or certainly Parvati. There's a lot of people out there who, like, we can already think of reasons why they could potentially go first. And if we can think of reasons, then surely the people out on the island can think of those reasons.
That's very fair.
Yeah.
Parvati has that charm. I mean, she's the flirt, she's the charmer, and Sarah and Sophie just doesn't have that.
Sure.
I just don't. I could see Parvati getting votes to stay over Sophie.
Well, yeah. I guess we'll see. But unless anybody had any more closing thoughts before we wrap it up, thanks, Allison, for letting us do this. I've been wanting to do a draft for some time, and I think Survivor 40 is a great way to do it and sort of kick off like the hyping of what is going to be an incredible season, no matter who wins except for Ben. I can't wait to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this. Like, I can't imagine a scenario where it doesn't. Like, obviously, people's favorites are going to go home early, and that's going to be sad and stuff like that. But, like, I feel like, and I say this about Big Brother all the time, and obviously they don't listen, and I just keep tweeting into the void. But I really do feel like you don't need to try to craft drama. All you need to do is cast a bunch of interesting people who understand the game and let the drama create itself, and it will. And I think this season is going to be a perfect example, because we're just going to have so many people out there so hungry to win, all trying to outthink each other, all trying to come up with new and innovative ways to, like, further themselves, that it can't help but raise the level of the game.
I agree 100% with you. Yeah.
Yep.
It's exciting.
All right.
I'm going to make posters for my back wall behind my desk. Can you please do podcasts between now and when the season starts, so that we can hype up our teams?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm going to make a nice little graphic for us as well. That's on my to-do list for tomorrow.
Nice.
Yay! I cannot wait. And I can't wait. And if I win, okay, I'm totally going to take my winnings to buy you your next haircut. Okay, Tyler?
No kidding.
Yeah. What are we playing for here?
Are we playing for money? I had no idea.
Should we put a little something on the side here?
I'd be willing to do that. A little, like, $5 or something.
I'm in. If you guys are up for it, I'm in for it.
Sure.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay, so winner take all?
Yeah.
Yep.
All 20 of it?
Yeah.
On a Subway gift card?
That's right.
Okay. We got $20 on the line. Do we want to just Venmo it over to somebody?
Yeah. Well, we'll Venmo if we lose at the end.
Perfect. That works.
Yeah. Cool.
I like it.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
Perfect.
excited. I'm excited. I can't wait to dog y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine if any of my people win? Oh my God, Tyler will lose his shit, and it'll be the greatest thing ever.
Allison, I
can't
think by
wait.
far you have the worst team.
I was
Listen,
going to say, right now, I can't imagine any of your people winning. You're right.
and that's what will make it so amazing if, like, Tyler went. That's why I'm thinking, like, y'all think I don't put a lot of thought into this, and it's not all about just pissing off Tyler, but it's like really thinking about, like, let's just say it's like, okay, Tyson the Apostle, I could see it. Sandra Diaz Twine, I could see it. Sarah Lucina, I had Ethan Zahn as number 4. Somebody took it. And then I had Tony.
Guilty.
Do what?
I said guilty.
But to be honest with you, that's the only person that was stolen from me. So I was also thinking in my mind, who are people that they won't pick?
Who was you guys' number 1 picks?
I'm always strategizing.
Mine was Denise.
Same.
You know what? My number 1 pick was Kim, but I kind of figured that other people were doing the same thing I was and letting her slip by a little bit. And then fucking Alex gets in there.
Not too far. Can't let her go too far.
Yeah,
she
true.
She was my next pick.
Hmm.
And so I was kind of bumming over that.
Allison, who was your number one?
Tyson.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I went first.
Yeah,
Did you just black out and space
right.
out when I talk?
Sorry, I black out
probably?
bad choices in my life.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that's it for us tonight. We'll see
Too
who,
lazy to hit the mute button.
we'll see who wins. Alex and Kim, how can we find you guys on social media? Alex, you go first.
Alex Kidwell on Twitter and Facebook, and I just changed my Instagram because I don't like that somebody else beat me to Alex Kidwell. Well, I just didn't set it up properly, and it's been like A Kidwell 87, which is terrible. That's like a AIM screen name. So I just switched it to the Alex Kidwell. I think that was available.
Ooh, I like it. That's sharp.
Yeah, because somebody else took Alex Kidwell, so I'm like, all right, but you're an imposter now.
Yeah, you're not.
You're not even for real.
You're not even the real one.
Kim, where can we find you on social media?
I'm so boring. I'm Kim Mattina, so KIMMATTINA. Everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, where I really don't go other than I did post a picture of tacos yesterday, whatever. Facebook, whatever. My email. It's all Kim Mattina. Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. You can find me everywhere at TLyonz, TLYONZZ.
And you can find me on Twitter under my AOL name of @Summers1977. SOMMERS 1977 is actually my old. I just think it's funny that Alex brought that up. Anyway, that is my Twitter handle. Also, I'm on Instagram at the.memphis.darling. Please subscribe to My Weekly Meltdown YouTube. You'll get notifications when we go live. Also, please like the Facebook page, My Weekly Meltdown, and because we'll post there as well when we're going to go live. And please follow my cat, Finley, on Insta. Go ahead and roll your eyes, Tyler. I see you gearing up. Follow my kitty, Finley, on Instagram at Finley's Insty, FINLEYS_INSTI. And,
all right, there you have it.
And
Okay,
go ahead, Kim.
I've got to get back to work because I have no idea where the fuck my class is at right now. I probably ought to go find
roaming
them
the streets.
I hope you don't teach elementary school.
Oh no, these are adults. It's worse.
Oh boy.
No, these are adults. It's worse. Their jobs depend on it. That's okay. I'll be charming people left and right tomorrow. So okay. So I've got to run, guys.
All right. We'll see you. Bye.
Okay,
Kim.
good
Thank you.
night.
Good
Bye,
night.
Kim.
Bye.
Okay, I don't know. Can someone kick me out of here? Because I don't know how the fuck to get
All
out
right,
of here.
try
I
this
don't know
again.
how to do it. Hold on one second.
Honey, I'm lucky I found my way in.
Oh, I can eject you.
Eject me.
I know how to eject someone. Hold on, Tyler. You got something to say?
I wish I could eject you from the show sometimes. All right, that's it for me though. We'll go ahead and sign off now. But thank you guys for tuning in as always.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you so much.
it's fun.
And of course, in 3 weeks, Big Brother 21 starts.
Mhm.
So we'll be doing that. We may do some stuff in between then. So
yeah.
In the meantime, we will see you guys later. Thank you so much for tuning in. Goodbye.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.